Hey guys, welcome back to the Secret Glory podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about the second part of my testimony, and it's not going to be like the first one. I'm just going to emphasize on certain things that I felt like I missed out and I should really explain more in depth about. And I also want to share that this will not be the last of my testimony videos you see. The Lord has revealed to me that this is going to be more of a series and that I'll be going more in depth and more in details about certain situations that the Lord has brought me out of and delivered me from. So I'm super excited about that because you guys will be able to get onto a more of a relatable note with me. And I'm just super excited. So let's get started with the second part of my testimony video. So I did end up writing a lot of it because last time I was planning to write it and I didn't, and I missed pieces that I wanted to talk about. And there's definitely a ton of more parts of my testimony that I haven't fully discussed yet, and because I really do want to do those in separate sections. So yeah, if you see me looking down, it's literally because I just need to remind myself exactly what I want to what discuss on here, because we gotta be organized. So we wrote it down. I spent time with the Lord and asked the Lord what should I say. So that's what we're doing. I had to remind myself because I feel like my brain was almost everywhere because I just ate. So when I first gave my life to Christ, so in middle school, there was this girl in my church at that time. She was the pastor's daughter, and she believed she didn't have a testimony. She was raised in the church, and she just didn't believe she did quote unquote bad things, in the sense of, oh, I didn't do drugs, I didn't go partying, I didn't have sex before marriage. She just didn't think she had a testimony. So from that, me hearing her talk about that, I began to literally examine my life, and I was like, oh, I don't have a testimony either. I don't have a testimony. It's lame and it's boring. I've never done any of those things either. And I literally believed the lie of the enemy that I did not have a testimony for years. And I'm telling you, it wasn't until I literally rededicated my life and I was like, oh, whoa, I actually do have a testimony, and I can testify of what the Lord has delivered me and brought me out of. The devil's a lie. Tell me why this always happens. I'll be in prayer or something, and I end up choking. I be choking at my saliva, and I'm just boy, bye. Boy, bye. Anyways, so do not believe the lie of the enemy that you do not have a testimony, because the enemy knows exactly what the Lord did in your life and he doesn't want you to testify to it. Literally so important to testify, because people will be drawn to your testimony. They will be drawn to what the Lord pulled you out of and be able to relate to it. Testimonies are such a big part of bringing more souls into the kingdom and literally just boasting about the Lord. So please do not believe the lie that you do not have a testimony, because you have a testimony. Even it's the smallest of things. Testify, honey, testify. Okay. So moving on from that, I did want to emphasize about my anger in my childhood. So literally throughout basically my entire childhood, yeah, basically all the way up into my childhood, and into high school, yeah, definitely into high school too. I was always angry, when I didn't get what I wanted, when I didn't get my way. I was always upset and triggered by almost anything. I just hated being home. I hated going home after school. I always had an attitude towards my parents, and I was pretty rebellious. I always wanted to run away from home. I literally would make plans in my head, but I would never end up doing it because I just didn't have the guts to do that. And I was just not happy. I would get so upset to the point where I wanted to cry. And I would even look at myself, why do I want to cry? Because I'm so upset. And I would talk about it with my friends. They're like, oh yeah, I feel like crying too sometimes when I'm super upset. I'm like, oh, then it's normal. And don't get me wrong, we can go through our emotions and our feelings, but I literally was seriously dealing with anger problems and just a mess of emotions. And I know a lot of people could be like, oh, you're just going through your teenage years, your preteens, but no, honey, that was a whole nother level. Like, there was just no joy. There was just constant anger and triggers everywhere. And I also wanted to mention how I literally hated my mother all throughout. It definitely escalated more, like, I'll probably say 4th grade to obviously all of high school, because I felt like she was super controlling and I felt restricted, that I couldn't do the things that I saw some of my friends doing or saw some other girls doing. Like, I wouldn't be able to like go to sleepovers, I wouldn't be able to hang out with people all the time, and I would see this and I literally felt like I was missing out. I felt like I was missing out in, you know, the high school life. You know, everyone's just drinking and partying, and me, my flesh, obviously wanted to do that because everyone else was doing it, and I wanted to make friends. But I thank God that my mother did not let me, because that was literally just the Lord keeping me, like, from not opening those doors, you know? A part of me, because I just hated my mom so much and I felt like I had absolute no freedom, a part of me literally wanted to leave to college, and I did leave to college because I had no freedom, and I literally wanted freedom. And college was my way of escaping, you know, getting my own freedom, being able to do whatever I wanted. And the funny thing is, I explained my college experience in my last video. If you haven't seen that, you should probably listen to the first video before you even hear this, because it'll make more sense. But going to college, it just didn't turn out how I expected it to. I got super depressed, and even though I wanted to get away from my mom, she was literally the one I missed the most, which is pretty funny, right? You literally hated your mom and you left because of her, and then she was literally the person I missed the most, which it's pretty great. There was this particular moment that I wanted to mention that happened while I was at Penn State. So I remember being in my dorm and I just was thinking about like how I wanted to go out partying, I wanted to go out drinking, and I thought about it and I wanted to go, but this very thing held me back. If you don't know, Penn State is very much a party school. It's a major party school. So being there, obviously there was definitely temptations to want to go party, to want to go drink, because literally everyone was doing it. I mean, everyone. Like, I don't know who didn't do it, because everyone that was around me and that I knew was going out partying and everything. And they looked like they were having a blast, okay? We have to, like, I'm admitting that it looked fun. Like, it looks pleasing to the eye, right? But I knew it was gonna cost me something. And this very thing held me back. Was the fact that I would open doors to my bloodline and my future children. I would open doors to alcoholism, partying, drinking, addictions, and like so many other open doors would have been open. And I knew I didn't want that for my kids. It was just crazy, because I'm literally a living testimony of Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I'm telling you, future parents and parents even now listening to this, do not neglect like pushing your kids to read their Bible or even teaching them and pouring into them, because it literally leaves a marking in them. Like, knowing that I could have open doors and cause my kids to fall into these things, because I did, it stuck with me, and I didn't want that for my kids, so it held me back from doing that. Basically, like, I ended up coming back home, as a lot of you know, and now the Lord literally restored my mom's and our relationship, because she's literally my best friend now. I love her. Like, I cannot live without her. Like, I literally tell her all the time, like, when me and my future husband are together, she's literally gonna have to live like across the street from me, because I just need my mother in my life. And This was definitely a short. This was so short. Oh my gosh. This is like not even 10 minutes. But this was short. But those are basically the things I wanted to emphasize on, and there will be more testimony videos, definitely, because there's definitely some other things that I did not put in these two videos. I did mention like little bits and pieces, but I truly just want to dive into those specific stories and how the Lord literally delivered me out of those things, because it's just insane how the Lord always has better plans for you than what you have in mind and what you literally like plan out yourself. You literally create this entire agenda in your mind, and then when the Lord like delivers you from it, you're like, whoa, okay, I see what you're talking about, Lord. It's just like you're not blind anymore to it. But thank you guys for joining me today, and I can't wait for the upcoming videos. I know this one was pretty short. I was not expecting that, but thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.